check it out. Obviously, this is a older story, as you can see, May 30th. However, I think it is important because I think it kind of goes with some of the rest of the theme of today's show, as you will see. Webb's, this is Space Telescope. The Webb maps surprisingly large plume jetting from Saturn's moon Enceladus, or Enceladus. Not too sure how to pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. A water vapor plume from Saturn's moon Enceladus spanning more than 6,000 miles. That's the distance from Los Angeles to Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's how big these plumes are that are coming off of this tiny, tiny little thing. Not only is this the first time a water emission has been seen over such an expansive distance, but Webb is also giving scientists a direct look for the first time at how this emission feeds the water supply for the entire system of Saturn and its rings. It's yeah, Enceladus, here's some more info. 313 miles across. So very, very small. One of the most exciting scientific targets in the search for life beyond Earth. Sandwiched between the moon's icy outer crust and its rocky core is a global reservoir of salty water. Geyser-like volcanoes spew jets of ice particles, water vapor, and organic chemicals out of crevices in the moon's surface, informally called tiger stripes. All right, so they've seen before other plumes, just not this large. And you can kind of go through the rest of here. Just the 33-hour quick orbit around Saturn. So that thing is moving. All right. Right now, Webb provides a unique way to directly measure how water vapor or how water evolves and changes over time across Enceladus's immense plume. And as we see it here, we'll even make new discoveries and learn more about the composition of the underlying ocean. Added co-author Stephanie Millam at NASA Goddard. Because of Webb's wavelength coverage and sensitivity and what we've learned from previous missions, we have an entire new window of opportunity in front of us. That's the first story. Now, what is the, I guess, significance of this? Okay, so they saw some water plopping out. Okay, there's water plopping out of things on this planet and many other planets. So what's the significance? Well, here it is. NASA Cassini data reveals building block for life in Enceladus's ocean. And then just look at the picture. This is from the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California Institute of Technology, NASA.gov. This was a major story that I saw, and I thought it was important to talk about this particular thing as it involves Enceladus. So, phosphorus, a key chemical element for many biological processes, has been found in icy grains emitted by the small moon and is likely abundant in its subsurface ocean. Using data collected by NASA's Cassini mission, an international team of scientists has discovered phosphorus, an essential chemical element for life, locked inside salt-rich ice grains ejected into space from Enceladus. So those same water plumes that were going out into space are the things that they were studying to look at the chemical structure of those specific, I guess, as it says, ice grains ejected into space. Those specific ones, what's the chemical makeup of those? And by looking at that, you can kind of see what's under the surface. As we already know, subsurface ocean, and that's what is coming out. During its mission at the gas giant from 2004 to 2017, Cassini flew through the plume and E-ring numerous times. Scientists found that Enceladus's ice grains contain a rich array of minerals and organic compounds, including the ingredients for amino acids. And that's important because that is associated with life as we know it. Maybe this is not the only form of life that exists in the universe. We do not know for certain. Phosphorus, the least abundant of the essential elements necessary for biological processes, had not been detected until now. The element is a building block for DNA, which forms chromosomes, carries genetic information, blah, 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 DNA. And the building blocks that are needed to make it up, fairly important. Life wouldn't be possible without it. And let's take a look at this right here. Discovery, Enceladus. Here it is right here. I'm gonna look at it. This might actually, you can kind of see the surface right here. It's pretty cool. You can see the cracks in the surface. Then just imagine underneath that the just immense amount of water. For this latest study, the authors assessed the data through NASA's planetary data system. The authors focused on data collected by Cassini Cosmic Dust Analyzer instrument when it sampled icy particles from Enceladus and Saturn's E-ring. All right. So is there life there? That's the real question that I'm trying to figure out. Correct? Cassini's mission came to an end in 2017 with the spacecraft burning up in Saturn's atmosphere, but the trove of data it collected will continue to be a rich resource for decades to come. When it was launched, Cassini's mission was to explore Saturn, its rings and moons. The flagship mission array of instruments ended up making discoveries that continue to impact far more than planetary science. I do believe, and you can do more research of this yourself, but they are planning missions to go to Enceladus to try and get some data, try and get onto the actual moon itself so that we can see what's underneath that surface, because that is one of the things that is interesting when it comes to Enceladus. This is 2023, and we have at least evidence, pretty conclusive evidence, that there is a possibility that there is life on this moon. I don't know how likely it is because it's fairly cold out there, but according to the studies and the scientists, it's possible. It's possible. Now, whether that means that there is a different story. Is the moon Enceladus hospitable? Yes. New evidence suggests that Enceladus is an ocean that could sustain life. Could sustain life. Is it? Is it really? Is it really there? Life. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure. Let's listen to what NASA has to say. This is 2 years ago, so. Small icy body. Most reflective surface in the solar system. I'd argue I'm a little bit more reflective myself. I believe it is 30% water is what makes up this thing, that little barrier of water. So it's a massive percentage of the, I guess, moon. Very cool. I mean, I don't know if we really have to watch. I don't know. Titan. Titan is another. I have no idea if I've talked. I don't really know what I've talked about on this podcast. It's pretty much just talking about space every week. kind of what it's turned into. But there's no football going on. There's no basketball, so that's what we're talking about. All right, the first and only photos from Titan, Saturn's largest moon. That is interesting because I've seen the video of it going down through the atmosphere, and that's a very cool video.